round two.
What up, guys? Swanky or Mad Don here from Cosmic Flips. Today, I'm interviewing one of the most crazy resellers that I know. This man has been in the reselling scene for over 5 years. He has made over millions and millions of dollars selling on eBay, Walmart, and Amazon. You want to introduce yourself?
Hey, how's it going, guys? My name is Jay. I've actually been reselling since 2015, so it's been about like 7.5 years. Yeah, so whatever Swanky just said, millions of dollars definitely have been gross income of millions of dollars year over year, and I'm proud to say, I'm killing it.
So, Jay, what's your main source of income, and how did you get into this space?
Yeah, so we can start back like in 2015. I was a pretty young hustler. I think I was about 13 years old. I started off with just eBay and just selling, random stuff around the house. And then I slowly started to like go on Walmart and Target.com. You know, I just started from there. I literally started with seed money of like 250 from like birthday money, and I grew that, all the way to where I am today. As far as like what my main source of income as of today is, like I would say, Amazon FBA has been really good for me as well as Walmart. eBay, is good, but it has its limits over time. So once you hit that certain limit, you'll know yourself that you've plateaued, and there's no more room for growth. So yeah.
So, what types of different, e-commerce do you do, like white labeling, drop shipping, and etc.?
Yeah, so I started off with drop shipping, and I realized it's not really something I want to do long term, just because of the risk associated with it. Because platforms like eBay, Walmart, and Amazon, there's several others, but they don't like when you drop ship just because um it's against their policies. So I stopped doing that. I do have my own white label products as well, um, just straight up households items. I've found success over the years with. Um, as far as my main source of like what I do is just online arbitrage and retail arbitrage. It's basically where we find products for a lower price and then flip them for higher at a later date, if not instantly. And I would say that Cosmic has really helped us, as like my team and I, grow because we've been finding leads constantly on a daily basis, just throughout the server, and it's amazing.
Yeah, so you've told me you've done Walmart and you sell on Walmart and Amazon. So which one do you like the most and which one do you sell the most on?
Right. So that's a hard question. Right now, it's Walmart. Walmart is king at the moment, just because there's way less competition compared to Amazon. Despite Amazon having huge volumes, but there's just so much competition on there. I'm just gonna give a quick example where on a listing, Amazon might have 100 something sellers, and Walmart just has like 8 or 9, max 10. But the thing is, Walmart has about 10% of the sales volume of Amazon, of which I've noticed. So if a product sells, 10 times on Walmart, it'll sell 100 times on Amazon. But it just depends if you win the buy box on Amazon all the time.
Okay, and you know, as a person who's making millions and millions and millions of dollars in this space, especially with arbitrage, there's a lot that goes into it. So could you basically give me a breakdown of what your daily routine looks like?
Yeah, for sure. So typically just wake up and then go straight on the computer. Got to find all those leads. The first thing you do is you check, Cosmic Flips for any new deals that came out overnight, and then from there you go on all the websites: Walmart, Target, Best Buy, Amazon. Brickseek is a big one that I use, just to find some leads for the day, and then from there we'll just go to the warehouse, try to figure out from there, ship everyone's orders out. It's just a daily grind, same thing.
Yeah,
But I would say that Cosmic has definitely cut my research time down in half, just because of all the leads that they provide.
so what are some tools and resources that you could share with the people?
Yeah, of course. So right now we are using Helium 10 and Jungle Scout, as well as something called Data Spark from Walmart. I would say overall the Helium 10 is the best, value wise and realistic data wise. just because it has the most realistic numbers possible. I've been using, this inventory lab and a few other tools I can't remember at the top of my head at the moment, that we use for Amazon specific, because Amazon has a lot more tools available just because it's been around for way longer. But if you want to get the most value for your dollars, go to Helium 10, and it may seem like a lot at the moment. Just it's $200 a month, but you get both Amazon and Walmart data on there.
So I remember you telling me Walmart's very hard to get accepted on. So is there any methods that you suggest in getting approved with the Amazon, wholesalers account? Hello?
Track record. I'm sorry. Repeat that.
I said, is there any methods that you would suggest? Because I remember you told me, with
Hmm.
Walmart, it's very harder to make a wholesaler's account. So are there any
Right.
methods that you would suggest in, making the steps and process a lot more simpler when making a, Amazon, sorry, a Walmart account?
Yeah, so honestly, like, you just gotta start off from the beginning, and beginning would be eBay. Build up your eBay store, get, as much feedback as possible, provide good customer service, then up your way to Amazon, do the same thing, get good feedback, and automatically when you apply for the Walmart account, your corporation at that point will be, or your LLC or corporation will be, either a year or 2 years old, which makes it a lot easier, and you have a lot of good customer feedback, which you can provide to Walmart because they'll ask for links of your stores, just other marketplace stores that you've been on, um, and that'll definitely increase your chances of getting on. I've seen people, with no track history and just built the website and get on, but that's a 1 in a million shot. So you're better off, working your way up and trying to, Walmart is the next step after Amazon, and before Amazon would be eBay. So as long as you work your way up, I think that's the best way to go about it.
Okay, and so let's say what's after Walmart in your opinion? What will be the next move?
Best Buy, Target. So
Okay.
Target right now is an invite-only platform, but Best Buy, you can apply for it, but it's even more difficult than um, Walmart at the moment, just because you have to get your Canadian business license, and you can only get your Canadian business license once you have a LLC or corporation set up in the United States, which will make your life a lot more easier.
Okay, so, on a side note,
Hmm.
besides e-commerce, what other business ventures do you have?
Yeah, so I have a few other things I do. There's real estate, and like real estate, particularly just investing into apartment complexes and buildings and renting them out. I have a few Airbnbs down in Texas. I have a Turo car rental business up in New York. It's doing pretty well. And I was able to, pretty much do all of this just based off my e-commerce business. The e-commerce business funded everything at the beginning, but now everything is self-sustaining.
So, with utilizing Cosmic Flips, could you give us some channels and some methods that you use within the server to, find leads and to make a profit?
Yeah, 100%. So, I mean, one thing I do on a daily basis is just check the top deal section and staff announcements. Sorry, the staff always announces, PS5 drops or something hot. So like just this past week, I was able to get over 100 PS5s by running some bots based off of cosmic leads. So yeah, top deals is a good one. Um, let's see, trying to think here. Oh, as crypto chat was pretty good when crypto was, really, really high, and all the meme stocks and whatnot. I made quite a bit of money on that. Shiba Inu, Dogecoin, all those. And then, and just like overall the flips category, just because there's so many different niches you can go into. And, if you have a certain interest in something, I feel like Cosmic has that category, which you can flip within. I had a particular interest in Pokemon cards and trading cards in general, and so they have a flips channel for that. And then there's a wide category such as just miscellaneous flips. So I feel like there's so much. There's literally so much that one person can't even absorb all of it, and that really, I really think that's what's gonna make anyone successful. And not to mention the deals bot as well, where it's like 100% ROI, 50% ROI. Those have really good leads for Amazon. Um, and Methadone was telling me, well, showing me a recent flip that you guys found for a cream that was going for, they were buying for 15, flipping on 30 for on Amazon FBA, and the profit was literally $6.23 and at 2,000 units a month. Even if you lower the price and make your margins $5, that you're still making, max $10,000, minimum, $5,000. So it's like literally that's off of one product. So Cosmic has endless amount of flips.
Yeah, guys. So, I've been talking to Jay for a while, and, his motto isn't always, having the highest profit item. His motto is volume. Volume is key. You know, uh, Jay, you want to tell how many credit cards you have?
Jeez. Oh boy. I think I utilize about 16 credit cards at the moment, 16 or 18. If you just think of every Amex I have, I have the Chase Business Inc. Premier, which is an invite-only card. Um, I have Capital One because of Eno. They have the virtual cards. I have the Apple Card, Citibank Double Cashback. I think that's what it's called. I don't know. I have a whole bunch, man. But yeah, like the thing is, you gotta utilize the cards appropriately when you're purchasing your product, as well as use like third-party applications such as Rakuten or Honey. I've literally get thousands and thousands of dollars in cash back just on Honey, and then whatever my credit card gives me. I've never had to pay for a flight out of pocket because I've been using my points for the last 2 3 years probably.
If you had to, restart everything with the knowledge that you had today, what would be the first steps, and, what would be the mistakes that you would avoid, getting into the
Yeah,
space?
yeah, you'd be surprised. I actually did have to restart, not too long ago. About what was it? 2020. I had to restart in 2020, and with all my experience from like the last, well, technically back then it was 5 years of experience. With that experience, I was able to up the ante and really improve myself over the next 2 years, where I am today. 5 years ago, I would say I was doing max $1 million. Today, I'm probably doing roughly 18 or $19 million a year in gross revenue, of course.
Yeah, guys, anything is possible. You know, Jay is a like hardworking man. Jay, tell him how hard you work. Tell him how you even are going to college.
Oh yeah, so I am going to college for information technology and going on to my master's for cybersecurity. So along with that, I'm taking 7 classes a semester, just trying to finish as soon as I can. On top of having, the e-commerce business and then the rental and real estate investment businesses.
For y'all
Um,
people, oh, I'm sorry. For y'all people out there who are not in college, you have no excuse. Cause this man is in college and is doing all this on top of making millions and millions of dollars and having multiple business ventures.
right, and we've been trying to schedule this interview for what, like about a month now,
Oh
and
yeah.
I've just unfortunately I've had to push it back, every week, just because something or the other just comes up, and especially since it's Q4, it's getting a lot more difficult.
Oh yeah, but Q4 is a lot of profit too. So,
Yeah, it's definitely a lot of profits. This is the most profitable season. If you survive through this season, you'll be good for the next, 10 months of till next year, pretty much, I would say, if you do it correctly.
so, you know, in regards of, this space, what has been your method of networking with other people?
Yeah, honestly, Discord and like just people within Discord have been great. Like I've met so many people, throughout this journey that like it's literally it's crazy. Like I've never met these people in person, but yeah, I've done hundreds of thousands of dollars of business with these people. because they can supply and I can sell. Let me think. Other than that, like I would say like other networking events, there was a white label expo in New York City a while ago. I went there, and there's usually a lot of big companies out there that if they give you wholesale contracts for their products, and I think going to the expo was free. You literally walk in, you get the business information, they give you wholesale contracts, and you start doing business with them. I'll give you a quick example. 2 years ago, or yeah, 2 or 3 years ago, we got into a contract with
Jay, I think you cut out. Hello?
a minimum $1,000. Yeah,
Jay,
can you hear me?
yeah, you cut out. You say you're doing a contract with who?
Oh yeah, so we were doing a contract with Intex, and I was saying pools are really profitable about 2 years ago, 2 to 3 years ago, and they were a $200 pool was going for 1,000, 1,200, even up to $1,800 I've seen. So we were able to get this contract through the White Label Expo in New York City in 2018. So we built up the connection, and then when there was a shortage, we contacted the supplier directly, and they were able to ship to us containers after containers.
Oh, oh my God. Okay, so you must have been banking, cause pool season, man, I made a quite bit of money, but with what you've done, I can't imagine how much money you made.
Yeah, man, it was good while it lasted, and now it's till the next thing. We just gotta find the next thing, whatever that may be. I would say this like Black Friday time, and during these really good sales, it's time to stock up. Even if you had just have a few $100, you can easily double it, if not triple it, if you do it properly. All you need is a good credit line or just a credit card. You know, I asked my parents when I was younger to start, so there's nothing wrong with asking, for some help from anyone in your family or friends if you guys want to pitch in together and start something.
Oh yeah, 100%, working with family is key. A lot of people say don't work with family, but I mean, okay, this of course this statement is very broad because everybody's family is different and they're not the same. But at least if you know you're in a good
Of course.
environment with good people, they're not gonna stab your back at the end of the day. So take advantage of what you have.
Right, and then I can't do all of this without my dad. I might have started it, but I need someone when I'm in school. I need someone to run the place. I can't always be around, so even if I'm away, out of country or if I'm at school, it's simple things. There's always someone, in back home to take care of everything. And I think having someone or partnering up with someone it's a very big key because at the end of the day, you're two minds instead of one.
And it takes the stress off your back a lot too. You're
Yeah,
human too.
100%.
You can't be working 24/7 because life isn't all about money. Life's about enjoying, you know, the fruits that come with it.
Right, exactly. And like, if you think about it, a simple 40-hour week, if you have two people, that turns into 80 hours in a week that you can put in together, that, pretty much doubles your productivity.
100%. And as an entrepreneur, you're very self-aware, and you're very self-aware of the environment that you surround yourself with. And you told me, you're very cautious of what you eat because overall the food that you put into your body represents the type of person you are. Putting junk food, you're an unhealthy person. Putting good food, you're gonna
Right.
be a healthy person.
Yeah, I would say I cut out a lot of my junk food like last year. Like I want to cut it out a lot more sooner, but I haven't really eaten any chips or anything, anything bad, like relatively bad for me in the last year, and I've seen, huge like mental increase just because like a mental capacity increase. I'm able to think a lot more and just do a lot more, especially getting the proper sleep on time, making your own schedule. Like I have a schedule every day. I wake up at 7:30, 8. Sometimes I have to wake up at 6 a.m. just because of work, but wake up at 7:30, 8. I go about my day, I eat breakfast, I start my work, and then, if I have class, I go to class. And then, I just go straight to the warehouse or sit on the computer and try to find more flips. And obviously, being in school, it's a little difficult to always be on top of my game. But it has worked out for the last however many years I've been in school.
You know, Jay, if you don't mind sharing, a lot of people say, in this day and age, I don't need to go to school because of how, how online is. And of course, there's some truth to that. But, I want to know if you don't mind sharing, I want to know your reasoning of why you are going to school, when you're still making these millions of dollars.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, like I'm just following my mom and dad's mentality that like, when I was, before I started college, I was like, I don't want to go to college. I'm doing so well online. My parents were like, just think of it as a backup. God forbid you lose everything, you still have your degree, and you can always go work for someone because corporate's always gonna be around regardless. So if you have the degree, you always have something to back you up. If things go slow with the flipping game, start a job, you're making the same amount of money. Flipping game goes away, you still have a job and you're still making money and you're able to support yourself and your family. Um, as far as like people, there's people that are that just like influencers, and you want to become an influencer. That's cool. Go get a degree in something other than just as like a social media influencer. You can just do that as a side hustle. There's nothing wrong with doing that, but just get something. That's just how I think. Like you should just get something more stable,
Yeah,
so that way
yeah,
so that way you always have something in the background.
Yeah, 100%. If you think about it, so if you're a social media influencer, your image heavily relies on your income. So if, your image, your brand, if it tarnishes, there goes your main source of income. When you create a business before the fame and your brand and, what you say, it doesn't really hold, much effect on it, like, having an online business in the sense of doing, the
Right.
e-commerce stuff, you you know, dealing with the general public, especially in this generation with cancel culture and all that, it doesn't really hold a lot of, influence into your cash flow that comes in, every year.
100%. Like just give a simple example of Kanye. He had a several $100 million contract with Adidas. They cut ties in a matter of seconds just because of one thing he said. That's why I stay away from social media a lot of times just because of my businesses. I just stay safe from that. Also, if you have a degree and if you have a successful e-commerce business, your e-commerce business can, start up other businesses such as based on your degree. Like for me in the future, I'm gonna open up a cybersecurity firm just because I can, and my e-commerce business will be funding my cybersecurity business until I'm able to have it self-sustaining.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, you're a hardworking man, Jay, so, you have great things coming towards you.
Thank you, man. I appreciate it.
You know, um, Besides all this, besides business and all that, what do you like to do on your free time? I want the people to get to know you as a person.
Yeah, of course. So like, I like to go to the gym. I like to stay pretty active as much as I can, even though with my tight schedule. I play volleyball twice a week, no matter what. It's just my passion. I want to get better at it. I'm not that good, but I want to get better at it. COD. COD is essential.
You like the new Modern Warfare?
Right. Yeah. I haven't played it yet, but I've been just playing Warzone.
You playing Warzone?
Yeah.
Have you played Black Ops 2, Black Ops 3?
Yeah, bro. That's what I grew up on.
You like the
Black Ops
zombies or
2.
no?
Yeah, you can't go wrong with zombies.
Yeah,
100%.
I love my zombies. But, you make all these millions of dollars, you have to enjoy it. What are some things that, these this money that you made that you spent on, what are some things that, you've treated yourself to?
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of small things I've treated myself to. Like a few years ago, I never had an Apple Watch, right? So I bought myself an Apple Watch, and now I buy a new Apple Watch whenever I need. I have the most up-to-date phone. I recently bought myself a Tesla about 6 months ago, Tesla Model Y. And the year before that, I bought myself an SUV for work and my daily driving. In the future, I'm looking to buy possibly a Toyota Supra. that's just my one of my dream cars. So we're gonna go ahead and buy that. Let's see.
What
I've
happened?
bought my
You told me you had a Supra on Turo. Did you sell that or what happened?
No, I don't drive it myself though.
Oh, okay. See,
Yeah.
guys, that's discipline. Even though he can buy it for himself, he just puts it out there, and just gets passive income on it, regardless of even if he can drive it or not, because he's disciplined himself to
Yeah, man, it's being
reward
rented
him.
out. It's been rented out, 25, 26 days a month. My schedule doesn't really line up with the 4 days it might be available. So at the end of the day, a car on rent is it's gonna be treated like crap, to be honest. So I mean, I want something I can take care of, mod, make it look nice, all that stuff.
What are some stresses that have gone away ever since you've made this amount of money?
Hey man, I think you cut out.
Oh, I said, what are some like things that you used to stress about that have now gone away ever since you made this amount of money that you have?
Oh yeah, 100%. So like debt. I had some debt. Like my family's debt. I took care of that. I would say like I know this may not be like a big thing for a lot of people, but like in New York, property taxes are relatively expensive. They can my property tax is about 25 30K a year, and just imagine coughing up 25 30K on a $100,000 salary. That's really hard. So I would say like I was able to retire my parents. Your monthly bills stress goes away, but at the end of the day, you do realize that money may solve some issues, but it can arise a lot of other issues and stresses that one may not realize.
Well, Jay, I really appreciate you hopping on this call. I'm gonna keep it short and sweet and not take much of your time. I know you're a busy man, but if there's anything that you think our causing members should know, say right now or hold your peace.
Hey man, I'm just gonna say that don't ever um don't ever lose motivation because there's just so much out there and there's a lot of money to be made if you really put your down to it. Just keep on going through the server, find your niche, and start flipping, man. That's all I'm gonna say. Thank you for having me, man.
No problem, man. Thank you for joining. Well,
Of course.
guys, you know, I hope you learned something today. If you want to learn more about reselling, our Discord is discord.gg/resell. As the time of the recording of this podcast, we're running a $1 promo for the first month. So get in before our price goes up because we are increasing our price soon. You know, you've heard how, $1 million man, he takes advantage of our server. So if he's taking advantage of it, imagine the amount of opportunities that you can have. Of course, not everything is bread and butter, but with hard work, discipline, and